Hello everybody and welcome to an important video. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you're probably looking in the background going, ooh, SWTOR, and indeed you should be, because there is some good news. In fact, this entire video is a lot of good news. We're going to be talking about all of the series coming up, our Patreon, and just everything involved with that. So I finally finished my moving. We're done with that for the time being. And I shipped my computer, got my computer finally, so I'm ready to get to work. There's a huge story there. I'm never using FedEx again, and we'll talk about that in a second, but just generally speaking, I am ready to finally get back to work, and I have been. We got the stuff taken care of that was preventing us from uploading SWTOR, and now that is ready to start. In fact, I'm ready to say that, and I'm excited to say that the middle of February is when SWTOR will return. There is a caveat that the SWTOR episodes will be available early, a week early, on Patreon. So if you are a patron of ours, or you're not, you can head over to patreon.com/OSWguild. And if you support us even at the bare minimum level, which is $1, then you will get 1 week early access to all SWTOR episodes, which is exciting for the patrons because they deserve it. They've been really sticking it out, waiting for the SWTOR, waiting for the Star Wars RPG, and in fact, just supporting the channel in general. And I wanted to give them a bit of extra value. So they're going to get a week early access to SWTOR episodes. Everybody else will just get it a week later on YouTube as normal. That is pretty exciting. I'm excited about that. And in fact, I should say that the normal trailer that I do for the series will go up as normal. There won't be an early access period to that, but just for the normal episodes. And it's exciting for you, the viewer, who is on just YouTube watching the videos, because if you catch up and you've got all the videos watched and you still want to watch more, well, that means that you can just head over to Patreon and you can get access to roughly 4 extra episodes based on when you're supporting us on Patreon. So that will be really cool for the average viewer and really cool for the patrons. That said, we will reevaluate SWTOR once we get to the end of Knights of the Fallen Empire and decide whether or not going on with the series and doing the next bit, Knights of the Eternal Throne, will be worth it. But I'm excited for that. Finally, SWTOR is returning. It's been a long time coming, and I think this is, with everything that I've learned over the past couple of years, this is going to be one of the best things we've ever done, and I'm excited for that. But because I've finished my move, I have so much stuff that I can do now. My upload speed is ridiculous, so live streaming is coming, and in fact, so is Mass Effect Andromeda. So we want to, and I've mentioned this before, we want to play through Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and I can't do that necessarily as a series because it's just, it would take way too much time. I mean, you saw how long it took us to get through Dragon Age Inquisition, right? Like that's not gonna happen anytime soon on the channel, getting through those 3 games. So we're gonna live stream it all, and I'm going to post the VODs up on YouTube afterwards. So it won't be to the normal quality because we're just going to be playing the game as I normally would be. And the video quality may be a little lower. You probably would only notice it in certain areas of the games, but for the most part, we're just going to upload like hours of Mass Effect once the VODs are done. If you want to watch live, obviously, twitch.tv/OSWguild. I'll post videos when I'm actually live streaming, so you can keep up with that. And that's going to be fun because I've been kind of having an itch to play Mass Effect recently, and that's going to be really exciting. But that probably won't be for a week or 2. We'll see when that ends up happening. But at the end of the day, we're getting it done before Andromeda comes out. So we have just over 2 months before that. So I think we'll be fine, and I'll try to keep it fairly early on the time zones. So everybody in Europe, you'll probably be getting home from work when I'm starting the live stream. So that will be pretty cool. I didn't want to exclude as many people as I could by streaming very late. And I think that was going to be the case if I started streaming late, is most people in Europe wouldn't be able to watch. But with the time zone that I'm in now, I think most people in Europe will be able to watch pretty much right when they get off from work. So when I'll be starting the stream, roughly, vaguely, hopefully that will be the case. Next up is the return of Doom and Republic Commando. I swear we're right at the end of Republic Commando. We're just going to finish that off. But Doom will make its quick return and quick exit. We're just going to blast through the rest of the game. As you know, I've been playing on Ultra Nightmare, so I've been conditioned for, getting this series done as quickly as possible. And I hate just leaving it there. But, again, that was because of... we were having technical issues, couldn't get the game streamed to them, so they were unable to see the game or hear the game, and it was there was some technical stuff. Fixed that. That's good to go. Obviously fixed it because we've been doing Resident Evil with 6 and I. And speaking of Resident Evil, that just released, but because of just, busyness between 6 and I, we are going to get that done probably within the next week, and episodes will go up consistently for that. I'm excited for that. People seem to really like the game, reviewers that is, and people who have just been playing it ever since it released, and I'm excited to kind of see how it pans out, especially after doing that first hour demo. If you haven't seen that, we put up a video of it, 3 or 4 videos in fact, so you can go watch all of that. It's funny. 6 jumps out our own shadows. And I'm excited to see how much he gets scared in the series when we launch it in the next week. But again, I probably would have had it up today, which is Tuesday, to get that for the launch. But it wasn't going to happen with the time frame of everything him and I have going on. And speaking of that, we have our podcast episodes coming up. I say episodes. We'll talk about that in a second. But we have our normal episode 2 of the podcast going up on the 1st of the month, the 1st of February. That's going to be quite exciting. We have quite a few topics from our patrons that we're going to go over. And just for the most part, it's just going to continue on. That's going to be a patron-only episode. Episode 2 is. Episode 1 was just to give everybody a taste of what we're going for, and we've took some feedback and we're going to adjust a little bit. But for the most part, it's going to be a similar show to the first episode. So the second episode will go up on Patreon, or for patrons, on the 1st of February. But there will be a third episode, a bonus episode that everybody gets on YouTube, where it will be me telling the story of me moving. Because holy cow, I felt like in the moment of everything that was going on, like being in an airport and shipping my stuff and everything that happened around that, it felt like I was in a movie. The weird, crazy things that were happening. And I've got a pretty funny story for all of this. I'm looking forward to telling you guys, because I think you guys are going to be, you're going to get a kick out of some of the stuff that happened to me. But it's going to be probably an hour or so of me telling the story and 6 just listening, being 6 and heckling me about the stuff. It's going to be fun. So that will go up shortly thereafter the second episode. And on top of all that stuff, we have a Hammered In guide for Diablo coming out. I had made it, I just never put it up. I'm trying to find the right time to put it up soon. So if you want a Diablo guide, that's going to be coming. And then finally, I would say that most of our other content is going to continue the way it has been. Dishonored won't have 6 episodes back to back, because that was only because I was moving. But Dishonored will continue, and we've been happy about the reception to that series and just how it's been turning out. So we have a lot of really cool stuff for February. And if you're a patron of ours, you're getting even cooler stuff. It's just like, it's the OSWguild experience, plus. It's kind of like PlayStation Plus. It's like, well, you have a PlayStation, but do you want a better experience on PlayStation? An amplified experience? It's kind of like that. If you want, an amplified experience of all of our stuff, that's what you're getting, and you're getting some really cool ways to interact with our content. And you can go check out all those rewards and the reward tiers that you can get by supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/OSWguild. Again, that link is in the description, and so is the link to our Twitch. I'm excited to be live streaming again and getting through Mass Effect. We'll evaluate live streaming after we get through Mass Effect. That's just going to be kind of a get that done as quickly as possible, and then maybe start a live stream schedule now that I'm in a place that I can live stream consistently. A lot of that is just down to internet speeds as well, and just time of day. I think that was a difficulty of where I was, is if I wanted to live stream, I had to get up really early to make sure the most amount of people could watch it. And because I have to stay up really late oftentimes fixing stuff or editing and recording and stuff, it's just that it just generally doesn't happen. But thank you for the people who do support us on Patreon. You guys are awesome. You're the reason why the SWTOR stuff has continued to push forward, and giving you early access to that will be my little reward for you guys. So thank you for that. For everybody else who watches on YouTube, thank you for your support. Thank you for continued watching of our content. And man, here's to a great February coming up. There's going to be some cool freaking stuff. But we shall see you guys next time.